Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to replace that spigot, an outdoor spigot. At some point it busted and it's leaking water into the house, so we're gonna go ahead and get that replaced. I will show you guys what I'm gonna do. Might not be what you need to do to replace yours, but this is what I'm gonna do. Alright, so right now I'm gonna replace this from the outside instead of cutting into drywall. So I'm working on getting that vinyl siding ripped out, so I'll get you guys on a time lapse and we'll get that done. We got that cut out. I'm gonna get you guys in there. So that's where the spigot comes in. Unfortunately, this one is soldered in place, so we're gonna have to cut that out and figure out a system for the new spigot. Alright, we got that spigot out. I'm holding it together. I had to cut that end off, but right there's the split, and I had to cut that end off because this was bulged out and would not go through that little hole at the brick, so I had to cut that. But you can see the shaft goes all the way down, and this is the back side of it, and it seals on that back side, so that water gets trapped inside of there and freezes, and that's what causes these to bust. And then you don't know they're leaking until you turn the water onto the spigot and it starts coming out of that hole. It fills your wall with water. Alright, we're back from the store. What's up? Got a 10-inch spigot. And we went ahead and got a female adapter. We're going to go ahead and get some Teflon tape onto the spigot end. It is windy out here, but we'll get it. And I got You want to put a couple, 3 or 4 wraps on there. And I know I'm going to get all the hate for that end right there, but I don't care. I've used them for years and years, never had an issue with them. I'm just going to get that end tightened up on there, and that way I don't have to do it inside of the wall. So it's on there. We're going to go ahead and get this put in, get it connected. First, I'm going to clean up my pipe inside. My space in here is quite limited. Just want to make sure there's no burrs or anything on the end of that pipe. And we're going to go ahead and get this pushed together. Just like that. So we're going to get the water turned back on, check for leaks, and I'll get you guys up close in just a minute. Alright, we got the water back on. I still got to screw this in, but got that on there. I'll show you guys inside here. It's real tight, but we got that new spigot end and that push fitting on there. Got that pipe cleaned up before we got that on there. 0 leaks. Like I said, I've been using them for years and years. Never had an issue with them. The plumbers out there are definitely going to leave me some negative comments, but it is what it is. We're going to go ahead, get that siding back in place, the old wood siding, and then get the vinyl siding back on there as well. I'm going to seal all that up, get all that insulation back in there, seal that up with some silicone caulking, we're gonna get this spigot screwed in. Thankfully, it is right at the grout joint, so it'll be an easy attachment there, but we're gonna go ahead and get that done. All right, we got that on. We're gonna seal that up and then get the vinyl siding back on. All right, I'm using a Dynaflex. It's an exterior sealant, just in white. That shiplap is original to this house from like 70s, 60s or 70s. So, I mean, it's never gonna be exposed again. I just want to seal up the gaps I caused or created by cutting that out. So we're gonna get that sealed up. We'll get this vinyl siding back on. We kind of took this off in a backwards fashion, but it's all right. We're gonna be able to get it. Just gonna clean up this area a little bit. Get all this stuff together up here. And I've already discussed this with the customer in terms of going into this end here, cutting into this lap siding, and how to look afterwards. And again, like I said, this lap siding, so if we ever do tear out the vinyl siding, let's get to the lap siding. This is a repairable piece. You can pull it up on. We can get that fixed up. I mean, right there, obviously, there's a hole anyway, so not a huge deal. We're gonna go ahead and get the foam piece back in. Get that tucked in behind everything. And I gotta try to find my nails that I popped out. There's one still in here, so that'll be good. Get that one nailed in. One more nail. I just saw one. Here we go. So that'll get all of that bottom channel in. All right, now we have to work in this vinyl backwards, because normally when you're installing vinyl, you would start with the bottom piece and work your way all the way up. You just gotta kind of be a little tricky with it. You work it back in underneath the top piece. If you don't know about vinyl, it's just interlocking panels. So once I get that up behind that top piece, I'm just going to pull it back down and get that upper lip of the bottom piece, which would be this here. That piece gets locked in with that lip there on the upper one. Now this bottom piece here, the very last one, we're going to do the same thing. It's going to go up behind a piece above it, like so. It's going to get locked in, but then we put that bottom channel on, and that's what this has to get locked into at the very bottom. So that can be a little tricky. You just got to kind of work it into place. And just like that. Everything's locked in pretty good. You should, there should be some nails put in, like 2 per piece for this little short section. I'm going to get some nails. I'm gonna actually hide them up under that lip, or some screws rather. You won't ever see them unless you're bending down looking at it, but it's not going to affect the aesthetics of it or anything like that. So I'm going to grab some screws and we'll get those put in, and we will get that spigot screwed in. Alright, we got the screws we need for the vinyl siding, and we got the screws we need for the spigot. Let's get all that put in. Again, I'm just hiding these way up into the top of that joint there. They won't even be seen. Alright, we got that in. These holes drilled through this spigot. I'm just going directly into the grout line. May need to get an extension on here. I do. I'll be right back. Alright, we got that extension. Good. It's on there nice and tight. Good to go. Last thing I got to do is we took this gutter strap off, and I just twisted it right off without any tools. So we're going to go ahead and just twist it back in. And that'll be the last thing. Clean up and we'll be out of here. Let's show you how this gutter strap works. This little lip there goes inside of that flap, so they go inside of each other. I'm not going to be able to do that one-handed, but once you got those two together, maybe let's see if I can do it one-handed or two-handed with the camera still. in my hand. Alright, so once you get them together like that, it just gets folded over and secures that gutter on there. Just like that. So we're going to get our mess cleaned up and get the hose reel and hose hung back up. That spigot is on there good. Got that seal back behind there. It's on there nice and tight. And I did check for leaks. I did not see any leaks back there. I let it sit there for quite a while and no drip. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. That was just a quick little spigot replacement. I wanted to show you guys. Again, this isn't a how-to video necessarily. I'm not responsible for what you do, so just take it as you will. But we got that done. That's another job in the book. All right, with that, we're going to wrap up this video. Thank you all again so much for watching. Please consider giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing. Really helps out the channel, helps us grow. Real quick, I did want to give a shout out to these crocodile cloths or crocodile wipes. They are excellent. They're really big, 15 inches by 10 inches. I'm not sure if you can get other sizes in these. These are the original, and I know they have some that are like extra heavy duty, some that are particular to paint and stuff. But here's some of the things they say they're good for. You can pause the video, check that out. This is not sponsored. I bought these with my own money. They don't even know I'm making this video, but I love them as a construction worker, woodworker, working on cars, whatever. Like, these things clean up great. If you're out in the middle of nowhere with no access to water or soap, or at a customer's house, it's not always like courteous or whatever to use the customer's bathroom. So these things are great. Check them out. I believe I got them at the orange store, the big box orange store. Anyway, thanks again. Until next time, be safe, and we'll see you then.